Revelation 18, verse 9. I'm going to read from Revelation 18, verse 9 down to Revelation 18, verse 13. I had this one demon say that we didn't never taught Revelation 18. That's why the guy went off. While I was going through various pages that GMS put up, and we did breakdowns on Revelation. Not just myself, but the other apostles and even the other brothers from the other states did went through. We did a whole series on the whole book of Revelation. We broke down, and it took us a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whatever the case may be, and we broke down every. We covered everything in the book of Revelation from the first verse to the last, from the first chapter to the last chapter. So you demons saying that, oh well, you never taught that. That's why the guy went off. You got to watch these guys, and you got to, you know what? These guys that come with this negative, these comments. Just cut them off, man. They're nothing but scoffers, you know. Anyway, I did a bunch of videos and I covered Revelation 18 chapter in the past. Now, as you know, they had taken down a handful of YouTube pages that I did. So when they take down the page, you lose all the videos. So there's no excuse for someone to break down Revelation 18 verse 9 as saying the ships out there in off the coast of the west coast is a fulfillment of Revelation 18 verse 9 down to 13. So I'm going to read it. And that shows you that, guys, you know, oh, and when I made the statement about everybody should be doing a video, well, I said 3 videos in a week. That was for you brothers that know the scriptures. That's for you brothers that eat the roll. Not no guy that came in 2 weeks and all of a sudden he's making videos. All right? Because we're supposed to all be pushing this word, but you got to know it first. You got to eat the roll and then teach. Not eat half of the roll, not eat a couple of bites of the roll. Eat the whole roll. So that's why you ask questions, and that's why you watch videos. Anyway, Revelation 18 verse 9. It says, and this in the blue letter is called Lamenting for Babylon. If you go to the headline, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication. What does it mean by fornication? Went to bed with Babylon the Great, meaning made deals with Babylon the Great. And pretty much every major nation did that. All those nations that go to the UN General Assembly, which they had a couple of weeks back, they all went to bed with Babylon the Great in the system, and the beast system. So those so-called Arab nations that they call terrorists, they don't grab them up when they come to the UN. Oh, this guy's a terrorist. Well, wait a minute, he's at the UN. Why don't you grab his ass up? He's in a hotel in New Jersey or New York. So why don't you grab him up or do what you got to do to him? Because this is all a fucking game, man. It says, in the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously, deliciously. This is why you guys, the guys in Israel that sold out, they sold out because they're going to live deliciously. Give you an example of someone living deliciously. Floyd Mayweather, he's living deliciously, and he flaunts it too. Deliciously.
Strong's G 4763 Straniao.
Straniao, to be wanton, to live luxuriously. To live luxuriously. Common Dictionary. Definition. Characterized by opulence, sumptuousness. Oh, remember the rich man? Sumptuous. He lived a sumptuously, or rich abundance of relating to or making by luxury. In other words, you got a Toyota, whatever. You got an apartment, maybe a two-bedroom apartment with your wife and your children. That's not living deliciously. That's not living sumptuously. You're just living like a middle-class, working-class life. But you got a middle-class, working-class person that hits the lotto. What do? They go, I'm going around a trip around the world. I'm going to buy a house over here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that until they run out the money. Because they're just spending money to live this delicious, sumptuous, luxurious life. And that's what your women want. That's what your women want. You know, women, their dream is to always marry some guy that's super rich so they can live deliciously and sumptuously and luxuriously. And your sellouts do the same thing. Look at how Tazadakia, the so-called God-sent comforter, was living. He was living luxuriously. That's why he was able to get them, and his thing was them Ephraimite and them Edomite women, man. So the Most High, but you know what? He made a compromise. He compromised his truth for that money. So the Most High killed him. He was teaching a Roman Catholic, a black Roman Catholic doctrine. It says, pleasure-loving, fond of luxury or self-indulgence, luxurious taste, luxurious feeling. You got a guy that's a woman or man that's living luxuriously. You're gonna see it on their faces, man. Living that luxurious life. So now let's come back. And wanton means to be undisciplined. Hey, any brother that hit the lotto for like $10 million, they're gonna do it. They ain't gonna go to the camp no more. They ain't gonna go to the camp no more. They're gonna give out gifts. Revelation 18 verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and have lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning. Now, what does that mean, the smoke of her burning? Does that mean America's going to have a big national cookout? A big national picnic? And the mother nation's going to see it from? No. It's talking about when the missiles decimate this motherfucker. 10 verse, standing afar off for the fear of the torment. It has nothing to do with ships on the west coast out in the Pacific waiting to come in to drop off those what do you call that, those shipping crates, cartons, whatever the hell you want to call them. It is standing afar off for the fear of her torment. What is her torment? The destruction from the missiles, from the ICBM missiles, from the lasers, from the chariots. And we're going to be beamed up. Most High willing, you endure to the end, and you're one of the elect, you will be beamed up. If you're not one of the elect, you ain't going to make it, because you're not written in the Lamb's book of life. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, her destruction, saying, alas, alas, that great city. And I ain't talking about Vatican City for you clowns out there, which Vatican City is 2 miles square. That great city Babylon, that's this goddamn place. that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. What's going to make this place totally destroy this place? The missiles, and it's only going to take 1 hour. It's going to be quick. It's what you call a surgical strike. 11th verse. And the merchants of the earth, the sellers, which include the merchant ships. Who controls the merchant ships? Right now, China. Those ships are coming from China. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. What? Because American people, for the most part, are consumer type, consumer people. If they don't have no money, they got credit cards. They're gonna max out their credit cards to get items. 12th verse, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones. And when somebody comes in to hit a lotto, especially Jake, what do? They buy nice clothes, the top of the line clothes, nice shoes. They get the Gucci bags and the Louis Vuittons, and they'll get a couple of Rolexes. Well, like I said, this guy Floyd Mayweather does that. He shows off the luxurious things that he got. He shows off these watches. It's one watch could be, $20,000, but he'll have a whole line of watches. So he's living that. I'm just using him as an example because he flaunts his riches. Okay? Is it the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stone and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet, the best silk, the real silk, and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. They don't go to Bob Furniture like I do. I had to get a table. I went to Bob Furniture and had a nice table, but some super rich person, they look at me, man, get that table out of here. Anyway, it says 13th verse. It says a 13th verse of Revelation 18, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine, the best of wine, and oil, the best of oil, and fine flour, and they eat good. They eat good. Why do so many Americans go to places like McDonald's and Wendy's? Because their budget, they can't go beyond that, man. The super rich don't be going to McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Chipotle. They go out and eat. They go out for fine dining, eating good food, and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. So they still got you in slavery. You're still in slavery, man. All you have to do is read Jeremiah the 30th chapter. Read the whole chapter. And that even speaks about the time of Jacob's trouble, which is going to come at this time. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.